What's good? What's good? What's good, folks? I finally slowed him down. I finally tracked him down, folks. I finally slowed him down, pulled him out the weight room, pulled him off the yacht. I got this guy. He got him out the studio. It looked like he's at the crib now. What's going on, Mr. Darnell Smith? How you doing, big dog?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. And you are hilarious for the intro. I appreciate it. I'm just trying to get on your level. That's my goal every single day, trying to get on your level.
Look at this guy. Hey, man, I wasn't in Miami on the yacht 2 weeks ago. I don't know when it was shot. That wasn't me in Miami. Okay, I'm not with the big star eating oysters and crab legs. I saw those crab legs. The crab legs look like the Brontosaurus burgers that was coming. Fred Flintstone they put on his car. That's what the crab legs look like. I saw you cracking the other day. That's what the crab legs look like. But man, hey, congratulations to you, bro. Congratulations to you. When you met me, when we met a few years ago, you asked me some silly questions like, "Oh, how do you talk to these guys? What's the feeling? What do you get?" Next time I see you, he's blasting Kirk Cousins.
You remember that, huh?
In the post-game interview. Well, he did. You did go a couple weeks without answering a question, and then he said, "Kurt, you ain't no you." What he said, Kurt, you haven't won a Monday night football game.
Yeah.
In your whole career. How you change that around? I'm like, damn, Darnell.
Hey, man, I'm getting straight to it. I'm from the far east side of Indianapolis, man. I'm God blessed with this opportunity to cover games, be in sports, and I'm not going to take it lightly. Ain't no sugarcoating. I'm not going to wait around. And I play ball myself. I'm not scared of these players. Let's keep it real. Let's talk.
Right. That's how you do it. That's how they do it in East Indy, huh?
Yes, sir.
Wow. So that was crazy. But no, man, your success, you're moving forward. You're doing big things with Fox. You got your own. Talk about what you're going, because I'm going to get it wrong. Yeah, I know you're doing the Porch podcast, you and your homie. You're having all kind of people on there. You got porn stars on there. You got athletes on there. You know, you got you guys battling about chicken. I saw the episode about chicken in Indy. I'm going to ask you, let's get right to it. Have you found good chicken in LA?
Man, that's been the one thing that I've been struggling to find out here in LA. There's so many amazing food options all across LA. As you know, I mean, you can get Ethiopian food, Chinese food, Mexican, like whatever you want, you can find
That's what I love about the place. The diversity is just amazing.
It's amazing. But the one thing that I feel like LA is lacking on is that amazing chicken. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a couple spots where it's like, okay, you know, they have Fixins downtown, which is a soul food spot. It's relatively new.
I didn't make it there. I didn't make it a Fixins. I didn't make it a KJ spot. I didn't make it a spot.
Yeah, shout out to KJ, man. Right there in LA Live. And me and the wife actually just went there a couple of days ago, and amazing food. Chicken is definitely good. So that's high up on my list. You know, obviously you can always go to Roscoe's, and Roscoe's is good, but it's not like it's not the best chicken I've had in my life.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody else said it, because I was severely disappointed. Actually,
right.
For all that I've heard about Roscoe's and growing up on the West Coast, how it was supposed to be the preeminent chicken, I was severely disappointed in Roscoe's. But continue.
Right. No, I agree. I think the hype was so much that when you went in, you just expecting this amazing experience, and it's like, it's decent, but it's not like nothing special.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Exactly.
So like when somebody hype up the movie you go see, and you walk out of there kind of upset that you wasted your money on the movie because it was nowhere near the hype that you received for the last 2 weeks that everybody went to go see the premiere, and then the next week.
Exactly.
So
we shall see, though. I'm still looking. To answer your question, I'm still looking. Now, there is a Harold's Chicken in Hollywood that's good.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna solve all your problems, because I know you went to the Drew League. I know you was at the Drew League, so you've been there the last couple of years. I know that. We're gonna get into how that was experienced. You didn't stop at Louisiana on the way.
I have not.
You didn't stop at Louisiana on the way.
I've been for 4 years. I have not had Louisiana yet. I've heard good things, though. Is it good?
Cash only. You're gonna have to stand in line. You're gonna have to talk some shit, but it's worth the stop. I'm telling you, cash on, bro. And this is what African chick, 2018. Go to some event. Meet this African chick. We hang out all night long, right? Her plane is tomorrow. I think it's like 1:00 on Sunday morning.
Right.
So we hang out all night. I was like, okay, what do you want to do with that morning? You want to go to breakfast, brunch? What do you want to do? She's like, nah, I want to go to KFC. KFC.
What?
With KFC. She's like, yeah, American chicken at KFC is the thing. Everybody want to go to KFC. Nah, sweetheart. We ain't going to KFC. I'm not taking you to KFC. If you want to go to KFC, I got you. You know, I can drop you off there. I'm not taking you to KFC.
Not taking you, right.
Yeah, I'm not taking you to KFC. If you really want some chicken, we going in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
Manchester and Normandy. The Louisiana, Manchester and Normandy. Go there, get you a 2-piece, bro. 2-piece and fries, $6.50, bro. You can't beat it.
All right.
You're gonna have, and this is you're gonna have to wait till you get home to savor it. Number one, because it's gonna be piping hot when you get it. That's the very first thing. It's gonna be piping hot. It's gonna be piping hot, and you want while you're driving, you know, you don't want to get the chicken juice all over your shirt, no, because that's what's gonna happen.
Right.
Chicken juice is coming out,
burning your fingers and stuff. Right.
I'm telling you, Manchester, Normandy, Louisiana, 2-piece. You're in right there. And so report back. I think that's the best chicken in LA. Unless you go, have you been to the grocery store? Have you been to Vaughn's?
Come on now.
Have you been to Vaughn's?
I've been to Vaughn's.
Some people have you got the I like the grilled chicken, not the fried chicken. The grilled chicken from Vaughn's, the habanero.
You're real healthy with it, huh? You're real healthy with it now.
I'm just, I mean, I got a few pounds to shed, but that habanero though.
Is it crazy?
That habanero. Again, a lot of people say the grocery store. Yeah, the grocery store. The grocery store. Go to the one in Inglewood right there on Manchester. That habanero chicken.
Yeah.
On Fridays you can get the 8-piece for $5. You winning. That's dinner.
My guy stay in the hood. He said, we on Manchester, we in Inglewood, Hey, I love the hood. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes come on out to Beverly Hills every now and then. Come on out to Whole Foods every now and then.
I'm not going to Beverly Hills for no chicken. Come on, Darnell, you know that. I like Beverly Hills. I like crustaceans. Don't get me wrong. I like crustaceans. I like them when they say, "Can you crack your? Do you want to crack your crab, or do you want us to crack your crab?" Please have at it. Oh, by all means.
Now, there's a spot I'm forgetting right now. Slipping my mind. It's a really good chicken spot. It's in Culver City. It's a little bit more expensive.
Dinah's.
Is it Dinah's?
Dinah's right there on Sepulveda. Sepulveda, I think, is by the Clippers facility. What is that road? I want to say Centinela.
It might be. It'll come to my mind. It'll come to my mind at some point.
It's the red and white chicken. Yeah, Dinah's is not bad actually. Dinah's is. I was kind of surprised by Dinah's. You know, I can't stop everywhere. I can't stop everywhere for some chicken. Like it got a little greasy, little hole in the wall. That's what you're gonna get from Louisiana. Like I said, you're gonna have to go in there. So you cash only. You're gonna have to talk some shit. Okay, you be prepared. But you're gonna walk out of there with your 2-piece that is on fire. That's it. So yeah, LA is very diverse, man. Great food, obviously great Mexican food. I was fortunate when I came out here. I thought I was kind of leery that there wouldn't be no legit Mexican food out here, but I found some Mexican food, so I'm good. And then I don't know, have you been to the South, Darnell?
Not really. I mean, a couple of times for like football purposes, but not on some like just vacation, relaxing and visiting. So
well, it ain't no vacation place to go, but and there's Piggly Wiggly, the grocery store. What they do here is I can buy the crab. I can buy a half pound of crab or a half pound of shrimp, and they'll steam it at the grocery store. So I can walk out of the grocery store with my steamed shrimp, the same shrimp you're gonna get at any seafood place that they're gonna steam it and then charge you $12 per piece of shrimp. You can go in there and buy a full pound. You can buy whatever you want, 2 pounds, half pound, a full pound, whatever. You usually get a half pound, that's enough. But the peel and eat shrimp, boom, they'll steam it for you. 5 minutes. I had that for lunch today. That was having been down in the South before. That was like, whoa, I can do this again. Because you can't do that out there. Ain't nobody steaming shrimp for you out there.
Not at all.
No, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, man. So Darnell, so again, I want to talk to you about what you're doing, man. Talk to us about the Porch show. Talk to us about the evolution of your players. Is it the Players Day Off?
Players Day Off, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
the evolution, man. Let us know.
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, just start off with the Porch podcast. For those of you who haven't tuned in yet, it's a weekly podcast by myself and pretty much my brother, my guy Bolo. We were teammates in college and played football together at Ball State. And the porch is just a casual conversation. Imagine two brothers sitting down, having a drink at the porch, talking about any and everything. And a lot of times it's we bring on a guest and we dive into their careers, their journeys. And you mentioned before, I mean, we have any and everybody. It might be athletes, porn stars, journalists, like in everything in between. And we just, I like to call it the most authentic, the realest podcast out there. And yeah, man, it's definitely want you guys to tune in. We on every single streaming platform out there. We got our own YouTube channel. So I'm telling you, subscribe, tune in. You won't miss out. We actually just dropped the episode this week with my homegirl, Carly J. So that's what's going on with the porch. That's once a week. And then Players Day Off, that's more of my higher production show there. So
that's button up, huh?
Yeah. So,
no wonder I haven't got an invite to the Players Day Off. No wonder I ain't got the invite.
So Players Day Off, man. It's actually a series that originally was started about a year ago, and it was in connection with my brother Sheldon Day. He's a 7-year NFL veteran. He has his own company, his startup called the Players Company, which in a nutshell is a platform that's made up of 300 professional athletes, and it's a platform that's made to support athletes off the field in terms of financial literacy, wealth. There's a lot of players who mess up their money. They go in the league for a couple of years, don't know how to manage, what to do with it. So it's a platform that I call it the one-stop shop for like all things athlete. You know what I'm saying? So that's the foundation of it. That's where it started, and now it's evolved to a place where it's not just for athletes. It's also for the common everyday people. So if you guys haven't had a chance yet, definitely follow the Players Company on Instagram. They're doing a lot of great things, and I got my hands involved in them from a marketing and content standpoint as well. And definitely been, like I said, some big changes over the last couple months and years. And not only we're helping athletes now we're helping the everyday people as well. So it's a lot of great things. But Players Day Off is one of the series that we started off through their company, and basically it's a sit-down conversation in various different cities, different settings where I sit down with the athlete, sometimes an entertainer.
I want to see if they follow, fans. I want to see if they follow because I'm hitting right there. I want to see if they follow back. I'm testing these guys. I know I got the D Smith follow, but I'm gonna see if these guys follow back.
I can't make no promises. I don't run the account. I don't run the account. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Players Day Off, man, it's a sit-down discussion with myself and typically an athlete. Sometimes we'll have an entertainer on there where we dive into their careers on the field or on the court, but more importantly, we dive into who they are away from the game. What are they into? You know, is there any business ventures that they're into? Any outside interests? And just really dive into the human, not so much just the athlete. And some episodes we get deep and talk about serious conversations. Some episodes more lightweight and lighthearted. It really all just depends on who that guest is. So over the last year, we've been kind of putting a pause on it, trying to figure out what we want to do with the series in terms of trying to get it on a network and figure out a distribution partner. But right now, we're going to actually bring it back and just make it a digital series to help build up the brand. And stay tuned. We got some really good episodes on the way. Have a big time shoot coming up in a couple of days. I'm gonna keep it behind the scene. I can't give you everything right now.
Yeah, this is a voice of the fans, man. They want to know what's cracking, man. Why you holding back on us?
Players Day. I got a big time boxer who had a big time knockout over this summer. One of the biggest knockouts of the year so far. And I'll be interviewing him for an episode. So just stay tuned, man. Make sure y'all follow the Players Company, subscribe to the YouTube channel because we coming with that heat.
We watching, man, and congrats on that. So let's I'm gonna ask you, I guess, the same question for both. Kind of, I don't want to put you on the spot and say who was your best interview, but what was the best content you got out of either show, either doing either show, recording either show? Yeah, it didn't have to be sports related. Was it just the best conversation or the best content that came out of that?
Oh, man, I feel like everybody knows this, man. It was the sit down I had with Lil Wayne and Darren Waller. The clip went viral. I mean, it's still going viral. Like, I feel like every other week, someone's sending me a clip, the interview clip of me asking Wayne about a lyric from one of his famous songs. And for me, to this point, that's probably been the biggest moment, just because I grew up listening to Lil Wayne my whole life. He's my favorite rapper. I've made that known. And to be able to sit down with him in a very just authentic way, and for him to be so cool and down to earth, and obviously Darren Waller, one of the best tight ends in the league as well. I mean, that's just one of those moments where it's just, you dream of. So to this point, that would probably be the biggest moment, I would say.
Okay.
On the Porch side, we had Lisa Ann. So I mean, listen, Lisa Ann, that's a legend.
I don't know how you pulled that off, but she was dropping some jewels for everybody.
Yeah,
that was pretty
the Porch.
interesting.
That's what we do on the Porch, man.
Oh yeah, my bad. No, you guys dug that up, man. You guys was grilling her, and she was all for it though. She was willing to give you guys a lot of content, a lot of good information. So congratulations to you for landing these big deals. Now you strapped, you put on a helmet and shoulder pads.
Come on now.
There you go. But hey, when you see Darren Waller coming across the middle, like I know you was rushing the quarterback, but I mean, dude, I saw him coming out of the locker room last year, and he was twice my size, and he's a tight end. I'm like,
that's a big fella. That's a
big boy.
And that's my dog. But listen, I was a D tackle, 285 solid. So I'm not. Listen, rule number one: my D-line coach, high school D-line coach. Shout out to Corey Clark, Indianapolis legend.
Okay,
you don't let no tight end block you. I don't care if he's 6'5", 6'10". He's still a tight end. I was a 3 technique, 285 solid. Darren didn't want that work, and that's my guy.
Hey, Darren got a foot on you, D, though. He got a foot on you. He got a solid foot.
I love that. Low man wins. Low man wins.
That's fair enough.
Come on now.
That's fair enough. That's the first rule of contact, right? Low man wins, right? First rule of contact. You got it. So the Porch is transitioning to a weekly show. You guys drop it when? Every Wednesday?
Every Thursday, actually. Every Thursday we drop it. Yeah.
So congratulations on that. And this Players Club, or Players Day Off, you guys is doing it just randomly. If I understand, you're about to come back with a resurgence here with your boxer on the next show or whenever it comes out, huh?
Yes, sir.
That's pretty dope. What else you got on? What else you got on tap, man?
Right now, those are my two main focuses. I mean, you mentioned a little bit briefly, during the summer, I was really very busy with the Drew League, doing play-by-play, color commentary, and that was a dope experience. If you don't mind me diving into that a little bit real quick.
Please talk to me about it.
So like you said, last year I did some work with the Drew League in spots. You know what I'm saying? I covered their All-Star game, did some hosting there. But this year was the first year that I really worked with them the entire season to a full capacity, and it was an amazing summer. They were able to sign two deals, one with Caffeine, which is a live streaming platform that's actually owned by Fox. So it's kind of crazy how things work in full circle. Yeah. I got hired by Caffeine to do a post weekend show called Inside the Drew, where myself and my co-host, shout out to Shayna Calandro, shout out to Lauren Jones, aka Lojo. They were amazing all summer long, and we were able to do our own post game show. We did some in-game interviews and sideline reporting, and that was amazing. And then once July hit, after LeBron pulled up, and that was everywhere. Everyone saw that. The gym was literally, you couldn't fit a ant into the gym. That's how packed it was. And after that happened, everyone went crazy, and the NBA actually signed a deal with the Drew League where they started streaming the games live on the NBA app and NBA.com, and they actually brought me on as a color commentary and play-by-play. So it was my first time doing that, and it was an amazing experience, man. It was so many huge moments, and big names showed up. I mean, Trae Young played, John Collins, he pulled up. Isaiah Thomas dropped up and dropped a 40-piece.
Right.
Montrezl Harrell, I mean, he's on an actual team, so he's there all the time. DeMar DeRozan. The list goes on and on. Even just the Drew League staples who may not be the big NBA names, but guys who've been playing in the Drew for quite some time. I mean, you got Pat Rembert, who's the guy who's a multiple-time MVP. Frank Nitti. Everybody knows Frank Nitti is a Drew League legend. And it was just so many amazing games, amazing moments that just stand out. And to be able to be a part of the Drew League culture, I feel like it really put my imprint on LA, if that makes sense. Like being out here for 4 years, I needed something for me to really like, okay, we know Darnell now. Like LA knows who I am. I walk around and people are like, oh, ain't you the guy that did, talked at the Drew League and did that? I'm like, yeah, that was me. So
that was it, huh?
Yeah. So shout out to the commissioner and CEO Chanel Smiley and her father Dino Smiley for making it possible and allowing us to do it. And shout out to my brothers at Crossover Collective, Walt Brock and Steph Rawlings for helping make the deal happen and bringing us on board.
And that's super dope, man. So is this a continuous thing, or was it just this season?
No, the plan is to make it continuous. From what I'm hearing is, knock on wood, next summer we'll be able to bring it back. Now I don't know if it'll be both caffeine and NBA, or if it'll just be one or the other. But the plan is to bring it back again and make it even better. And next year is gonna be year 50. So I mean, it's a huge accomplishment.
The Drew hasn't slowed down, bro. It hasn't stopped. So I first went to Drew probably 2012. I think when crossover came, Jamal came down and played. That was 2012 or 14, had to be. And I mean, it was packed in, it was hyped in. And now, obviously, when LeBron shows up to one of your games, I mean, it just takes it over the top, right? It just takes it over the top. So that's kudos to you again for knocking some stuff out, man. And now making LA, it was crazy after all this. You've been covering Laker games, going to Laker games, covering games at SoFi. Now you feel at home when you go to the Drew, huh? Now you feel when you make the name, you go back to the hood and you make your name in the hood. You
it's
see
the culture.
I feel you. You see how that happens, man?
It's the culture, man. Like people they like seeing you on TV and on the big screen. That's all cool. But when they see your feet and your hands is in the city, in the hood, and in the soil, you right there shaking hands, talking to the people. It's different. Yeah.
So let's talk about something different. That's going to be different this year in the NBA. Your Los Angeles Lakers. Are they punking my guy Westbrook? Are they punking Westbrook by signing Pat Bev?
Not at all.
What's going on here? I mean, I think that might be a play. Like, Russell, what you gonna do? Now we brought your arch nemesis in here, and they playing nice, right? They're playing nice. It's early. It's summertime. Well, you talk to me about what's you and what's Kobe's teammate doing?
Listen, y'all,
Kobe's teammate right now.
I think us in the media has overblown the beef between Pat Beverly and Russell Westbrook. This ain't these dudes ain't beefing for real. This is basketball. They ain't got nothing going on. They talk some trash. They compete out there. They go hard at each other. They might get in each other's face during a basketball game, but at the end of the game, they both go home to their family. It ain't nothing serious. They ain't out here fighting the streets. Their families ain't meeting up. This is basketball at the end of the day. Ain't no thugs on the court. So yeah, they brought them over there for basketball purposes. They talked and they cool. At the end of the day,
cool. They good now.
They good. They might not be best friends, but you ain't gotta be best. Listen, you a former athlete. I'm a former athlete. I wasn't best friends with everybody on my team. It was some people I wasn't even cool with. But on that field, we got a goal and a job to accomplish. I'm good. We ain't got to be buddy. Come on now.
It feels to me like you saying this because you a bandwagon Laker fan.
Who a bandwagon Laker fan?
You the bandwagon Laker fan.
Who?
You come on, man.
Everybody know me. Everybody from my hood.
How you gonna grow up in Indy talking about you a Laker fan? They wasn't buying that out there.
I've been a Laker fan since I was knee-high to a grasshopper.
They wasn't buying that out in Indy. Indy's basketball, the Hoosiers basketball country. You gonna tell me they buying some outsider claiming some other team across the country? You telling me they gonna buy that?
They might not love it, but it's real.
Let me talk to Bolo.
Bolo from Chicago. He's from Chicago originally.
How you gonna let that slide, Bolo?
Listen, man. I say this all the time. I support the Pacers just naturally. I'm from Indianapolis. I support. If the Pacers win, it's not like I'm pissed off. That's great for my city. I'm happy. That's good. But you ask me, who am I an actual fan of? I've been a fan of the Lakers primarily because of my love for Kobe Bean Bryant. I didn't grow up on Jordan. I was a baby. I grew up on Kobe, and he was the greatest player that I've seen with my eyes, and at a young age, that drew me to the Lakers. And I've been riding with him ever since. I'll admit, it has definitely been different since he's retired, and obviously his unfortunate passing is a little different. But at the end of the day, that's all I know. I've been repping the Lakers since I was literally a little kid. So that's who I love, but I still show love to the Pacers. Come on now. Okay. Reggie Miller, Rick Smith, the Davis brothers, Chris Mullin, Jalen Rose, Travis Best. Come on, that's still my city.
I don't think the coach is going to approve. The coach who used to coach in Dallas. Why am I having a brain fart? Rick Carlisle. I don't think Carlisle is going to approve your credential request. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say. I don't think Carlisle is going to approve your credential request.
I'm going to do a workaround and get from somebody else.
There you go.
That's my city, Rick.
So you think this is actually going to work out?
I ain't say that.
Well, come on. This is what we're talking about. So they're going to be cool and not work out? Or
define workout. Are you saying the Lakers are going to win a championship this year? Or are you saying like
let's not get carried away? But Pat Bev did say I went to the playoffs last year. They didn't. Yeah, Pat Bev said they.
That is a fact. I mean, as funny as it was, he ain't lying.
Do they make the playoffs next season? Are they a playoff team as currently constructed? Are they a playoff team?
Currently constructed, which means AD is healthy. Yes.
Well, it's September 15th. Yeah, AD's healthy.
Currently constructed. Currently constructed. They are a playoff team. I say 6 seed, around that 6-7 seed right now. Okay. Currently constructed.
Okay.
There's no way. Listen, you can't tell me with LeBron, AD, Westbrook, all these guys. I don't care how old they are. You cannot tell me with that much talent and they're healthy. There's no way in hell they're not making the playoffs. No way. They would have made it last year if AD didn't get hurt.
Okay, but that's the whole thing. If they didn't get hurt, man, Darnell, if I had a few more pounds, bro, and another couple inches, bro, I mean, we'd be talking different. I might be on a Players Club show, so we might be talking about, you guys might be calling me on the show. But things aren't what they are. AD can't consistently stay healthy,
right?
And if that's what you're leaning on, he's done it one season. One season of his career has he played more than 72 games. So that's nothing to bank on. At some point, that old Chevy just can't get up the hill like it used to. At some point it start moving a little slower. That hill gets a little steeper. LeBron, right. Can he keep doing it year in, year out? We're on year 21.
I feel you.
Can LeBron? He's not a top 5 player. We can agree on that. Can he be a top 10 player this season again?
I mean, to this point, he hasn't shown anything that tells us he couldn't. I mean, he can't. Last year,
he got a couple injuries. I mean, the injuries are to tell.
But I ain't gonna lie, LeBron was balling last year, at least offensively. I mean, we know on the defensive side he's not the same guy no more because he's just older. But that's fine. But on the offensive side, I mean, look at his numbers. I mean, LeBron is still pretty much LeBron.
But those numbers were game-changing numbers in years past.
Right.
Now they're just numbers. Now they're just, he's doing his thing. They're not I don't want to say they're not impactful numbers because obviously you put up 30 and 12 and 8. That's impacting the game. But they're not changing the game.
They're not leading to wins. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Those numbers used to lead to W's, and they're not leading to W's. So are they as impactful as they once were? That's where I'm going at. And at some point, man, LeBron's been great. He's a great dude, great human being, great ambassador for the game, yada, yada, yada. But at some point, man, this got to slow down, doesn't it?
I mean, at some point, but I feel like we've been saying this for like the last 5-6 years. At some point, then he does it again. At some point, he does it again. So now I'm just done guessing. I'm just
you can say this is what we got.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with Tom Brady. At some point, yeah, you're right. At some point, it will, but I don't know what that point is. So I'm gonna just stop trying to guess. I think each year we keep saying it just so we can try to guess right. I told you so, but you've been saying it for 10 years. So you didn't really tell me so. You did finally. I mean, it's life. You know what I'm saying? It's like saying at some point, I'm going to pass away at some point. Well, yeah. I mean, like, we all know that. Like, you have to keep on, like, you're going to keep guessing every single year. So that's the thing. I think with LeBron, to this point, he hasn't really shown me too much signs of slowing down. No, don't get me wrong. He's not the same exact athlete as he was 6-7 years ago. But I'm saying he's still a top 10 player in my book, at least as of now. Based off last season and what I've seen, even Drew League and the offseason, he's still that guy. And I think with the healthy team, and I get it, AD's always hurt. But with hopefully he doesn't get a serious injury. He might get an ankle sprain, miss a couple weeks, but assuming he doesn't miss half a season or anything like that,
a month or two or whatever, back spasm or some wild like that,
I think the Lakers, I think they're a playoff team.
So Westbrook last year, and now I would say that was a media situation where they're blowing it out of portion.
Yeah.
Of his games,
he averaged like 17-7, I believe, off the top of my head.
He wasn't the Russell we knew in OKC,
right?
But he's still top 15 point PG.
He's
in the
still
league.
A solid player. You got to think, bro. It's a new situation. He got signed on that team to be the third guy, so we can't expect OKC Westbrook where he was the number one guy and everything went through him.
Right.
AD goes down. Now you're asking him to play in a different role than he was signed to do. Now he's a number 2 guy, kind of.
Yeah,
then LeBron,
yeah.
it was too many moving pieces. The starting lineup kept changing, and I think we put everything on Westbrook. And I do believe at some point all that negative talking to media started to get to him a little bit, and it affected his play. And don't get me wrong, it was not his best season at all. The numbers show it, the percentages show it. But we talking like Westbrook just trash. I'm like, come on now, y'all tripping.
I mean, but he wasn't the only reason who didn't have a good year. So I'm not.
The main reason is AD. If we want to keep it real,
we can't put the full thing on him. So I mean, I'm not a trainer. I know you doing some training. What do you tell this dude to keep this guy healthy? What is it that, I mean, is it plyometrics, TB12? You want to do? I mean, what do we do? What is it? I feel like, and I can't say if he was passionate about his career. I'm not going to go that far. But at some point in your career, he's been in the league 10, 11 years. At some point in your career, you got to get your right trainer, get the right cook, right. Get your diet right. Whatever it is, now he's been with LeBron. I expected that when he got with LeBron and LeBron's trainers and dietitians, et cetera, similar to the TB12 deal, that he was going to be right at that point. And that hasn't proven the case. And that kind of boggled my mind. So at what point do we say this guy's just an injured phenomenon, or does he actually get straight and play some full seasons?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, and it's hard to answer because, like you said, we don't really know what he's doing fully in the offseason. We see little moments of him, just having fun and playing the game, and we make our own opinions about it, but we don't fully know what his regimen is and what he's working on. I would like to assume that he doesn't want to be hurt. So I would like to assume that he's putting in the work and listening to doctors and trying to do what's right in order for him to be healthy. I just think it's one of those things where his playing style, man, I think AD, he's on the ground too much for my liking. To be a big man, pretty much 7 foot. I know he's skilled like a guard, but he falls too much on the ground. And to be that big and you're always hitting the ground, I think you're going to have injuries. It's just going to happen. Even if you're not a big guy, you think about AI, right? Yeah. AI used to hit the ground a lot, and he often got hurt. Now AI used to play through his injuries, and for the most part, it wasn't like season-ending injuries. But I remember it was that old commercial where it showed all the injuries that AI had on his body, and it'd be a large part because he was getting bumped and bruised and hitting the ground so much. It's kind of similar thing with AD, but he's so tall and kind of lanky that when he lands, he's twisting an ankle or a knee's getting wiggled. I think it's the way he's shaped. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, so he might have just altered his style of play a little bit and stay off the ground.
So the freaky thing that happened is when he went from high school senior to a college freshman, he grew like 7 inches.
Yeah, he was a point guard in high school, I believe.
Yeah, and so his body, it was like instant. He didn't gradually become the big man, right? He was instantly the big man.
Right.
So his body in his mind might, and from the way he plays, his body or his mind thinks little guy.
Right.
But because he has this now size advantage, he's still, and we see the small guard, the guard potential, the guard skills that he has. He tries to do that too often, as to your point, and then he's still thinking at 6 foot, you hit the ground is different when you hit the ground at 6 foot versus you hit the ground at 7 foot, right? And so that might have something to do. So I did mistake in 2017. He played 75 games. In 2018, he played 75 games. So 2 years in his career, he played over 7 games. Just to throw that out there. But there's something to that, to what you're saying about him not wanting to be injured. But I just want to see him get out there and play. Play a full year and see what we get out of you. But that's the Lakers. What do you expect from the Clippers? I expect the Clippers, and they're loaded. If they stay healthy, Paul George, Kawhi, if they stay healthy, where do you see them at?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. That's a championship team. I'm gonna be real. As a Lakers fan, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. The Clippers, if they're healthy, because Kawhi, he's another guy, PG, another guy who gets hurt. But those guys can stay healthy, man. They are scary. They have everything they need. Even last season, with Kawhi being out and Paul George being, kind of in and out all throughout the season, they still almost made the playoffs with their role players. They got role players who are dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that speaks to it, yeah.
So it's like, man, I think they got probably the best bench in the league. One of the best starting lineups. You got two of the best two-way players in the league. They got defense, offense, a championship head coach.
I
don't see what they're missing.
John Wall, I'm kind of concerned in one sense that does John Wall think, and we've seen tapes of him playing recently, but does he think he's the John Wall of old?
Right.
Does he mentality say, hey man, I haven't played in a few years. I'm John Wall. I'm number one pick out of Kentucky. I'm ready. Let's go.
Right.
Does he think he's coming over there to be John Wall, the number one option? Or is he ready to be the number 3 or 4 option? I'm concerned about that. And
John Wall ain't crazy. He know this is Kawhi's team.
You sure about that?
Yeah, come on now.
Why
would he assume that? Why would he even assume that? He hasn't played in multiple years. You're going to a Clippers team where Kawhi Leonard's there, who has multiple rings. What? Common sense to let you know. Paul George went there and said that this is Kawhi's team. Like, come on now.
Paul George is a different dude. Paul George is a different guy. Paul George willingly accept that number 2 role. Willingly. Okay, go ahead, Kawhi. I'll follow you.
But why are we assuming that John Wall won't? I would even say in Washington at a certain point, he kind of accepted the number 2 role.
To who?
Come on now.
Who did he accept the number 1 role to?
Come on now. I'm saying John Wall was the
John Wall to who?
John Wall was the number 1 guy for quite some time.
Yep.
But after a while, Bradley Beal started to level up.
Did they? But so if they accepted each other, why aren't they still together?
They didn't want to break up. That was a team decision that they wanted to try something new. And I don't know if it has worked for Washington. Are they any better? So I mean, I don't. You're talking like they got some improvements. They were, to me, better when those two were together.
I think they did make the playoffs with Russell. They made the playoffs with Russell.
They did. Russell Westbrook had an amazing second half of the season, and
they made the playoffs with Russell. But
no, I'm saying, with John Wall too. So like that's not
But I'm saying that marriage, I don't recall, and I wasn't following it intently, but I don't recall that marriage kind of working out. I think they played one good year together, and then Wall was traded, did he get traded or get hurt? One of the two, but Bradley Beal was,
of both, I think.
Yeah, Bradley Beal was there alone by himself, kind of, let's figure it out. So all I say is to say that is where John Wall's head at. He's better. He's better than Reggie Jackson. He's a better point guard than Reggie Jackson
for sure. But
Reggie was willing to accept his role and shine when knew he was there. There was going to be some time for him to shine, i.e., Paul George's history, i.e., Kawhi Leonard's history. So there would be time for him to shine, and when he got that time, then he shined. Is John Wall going to be that patient?
I say yes. I think John Wall's at a point now. He wants to win. He wants to win. He wants to show people that he can still play, of course. But I think you can do that. He could go if he go out there and averages 12 points, 6 assists, but does it within the system, and they're winning.
Yeah, that'll be good. 12-6, 12-8. That'll be. Those are impressive numbers, and that's if he can be content with that and not try to get his 22-8. I think they'll be in a real good situation. Again, barring injury, I think the Clippers will be really good. I think the Warriors will be pretty high. We'll be high in the Warriors. Yeah. The West is strong. I mean, you got Dallas. You got Dallas is going to be hot. You got Denver coming back. They'll be healthy next year.
Denver. Now that's the team I think people got to watch out on. Jamal Murray coming back healthy. Jokic. I mean, I think Denver's going to be that sneaky team.
Can our guy stay healthy? Michael Porter Jr. Can he stay healthy? There's another question. Like, if the three of those guys are ready and play a big bulk of their games, they're going to be fire. Yes. But then if one of those guys doesn't play, I mean, they're going to be limited, right? So injury is a big deal. Injury is a big deal. Man, we got football coming up tonight. Let's jump into this football. The Chargers play the Chiefs tonight. You got a prediction? I got the Chiefs winning tonight specifically. I'm probably 31-24. What's your thoughts on the Chargers? And I heard something. I want to get your thought, but remind me to tell you what I heard about the Chargers. And do you agree? Okay.
Well, I agree with you. I listen. I'm not a Chiefs fan at all. Chiefs Twitter, they hate me. It's just a little beef that I started last year on Twitter. The whole Chiefs kingdom has been at my neck.
They're coming for you.
They're coming for me. But I try to be real. I think they're going to win tonight. It's going to be a good game. Keenan Allen is out, if I'm not mistaken,
Keenan's
for the
out.
Chargers, which I think is going to hurt. Obviously, Herbert's still going to have a pretty good game, but I mean, he's your number one option. I think that hurts you offensively.
Well, you still got Palmer, you still got Williams, you got
For sure. Still got some guys.
Yeah.
But I don't want to act like Keenan Allen is not like
no,
a loss. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think the Chiefs are going to win tonight.
At some point, though, Keenan has been so freaking consistent. He's only one of 3 receivers to get 1,000 yards over the last 6 seasons.
Crazy.
I think he's one of 2 receivers to get 100 catches in the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like so freaking consistent.
He gets slept on a lot. Like when you think about the best receivers in the league, no one typically brings up Keenan Allen.
But how we were talking about LeBron and is saying that at some point, that's what I think for 3 years people have been saying this about Keenan. At some point, he got to slow down. And you know, he had a little injury last year. He was out for a game, but he came back in again, still did his thing, 100 catches, 1,000 yards. But they got talent. And I was talking to one of the reporters yesterday for the Chargers. Justin Herbert in college, he didn't play in the same offense all 4 years.
Right.
So his first 2 years with the Chargers, these last 2 years, last year and this year, he's in the same offense. This is the first time in his career that he's done this. So what that means is he's been already adjusting to people who's on the field with them, already adjusting to different guys, already adjusting to different receivers. I was thinking about what makes him such a because he when you think Herbert, you don't think Russell Wilson, you don't think Lamar Jackson ready to scramble, but he is able to step up and make plays.
Yeah.
And that's because he's been playing in a lot of confusion the last 6 years for essentially, and he's able to adjust on the fly. And I think that makes him a really good quarterback. What's your thoughts on that?
That's a great point, and I actually agree with that. I mean, like you said, you mentioned it at Oregon. I mean, a totally different offense than he's doing now, and a different scheme. He's to run a lot more at Oregon, actually. Different coordinators every single year. So the fact that he's able to adjust on the fly, I think, says a lot about his greatness. And you remember, even at the start of his career, it's funny. It was against the Chiefs, right? Right before the game, it was Tyrod Taylor gets, I don't know, poked by the doctor. I don't know what happened with that, and they say, Herbert, we need you. And they lost, but it was a great game. He went toe-to-toe against Mahomes and hasn't slowed down since. So I think he's a guy who can just, he learned from his experiences quickly, and he's able to just adapt on the fly. So I think that's a hell of a point.
So I heard today, and this isn't the first time I heard this, but I did hear it again today. Do you think Staley is on a hot seat?
Ooh.
I think that's preposterous. I'm gonna say right now, I think that's preposterous. Having been around the team and covered them for the last 3 years, was in the locker room, was with the team last year.
Yeah,
was with them all through training camp this year. The team, the organization does not feel that way.
Right.
Now, that might be a media generated thought that, hey, all these 4th down calls. You need to cool it down. You need to now slow it down. Just play consistent football. Blah blah blah. I don't think the organization. And talking to Tom Telesco, I know he doesn't feel that way. So that's a media generated thought, and I just want to grab your opinion because I know again you follow the game like what everybody else does.
Yeah,
that's a wild thought. I think it's way too soon for that type of assertion, unless they turn around and go 4-13 this season, which I think it won't happen. But unless they something like that, or 9-8, they something cough to spit up themselves like that. I think that would cause him to be on the hot seat at that point, but not at this point in the season. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree. So that's really what I was just about to say. I think if they miss the playoffs this year, I think next season he will be on the hot seat. Yeah, right now, I think he's good to go. I mean, Herbert's still young. There's been some changes. But I do believe that this is the season where there's a lot of expectations. They're like, this is the year Chargers should make the playoffs. Herbert has experience. We signed Khalil Mack. We put Derwin James to a big time contract. We got Bosa on us. Like they're loaded, in my opinion. So I think now it's like, all right, we need to see something now. So I think as long as they make the playoffs, he's good to go. But if they miss it, hot seat.
That makes sense. What was you most surprised about on Sunday? Was it Barkley? Was it the Steelers Bengals game? Was it Geno Smith? What caught your eye from this week 1 of the NFL?
Most surprised, my damn Indianapolis Colts tying against the Texans. Come on, man. I was so pissed.
I think I turned the game off. I was like, came back and saw the score. They tied with the. Come on, Matt Ryan couldn't get it done.
It wasn't on Matt Ryan. So listen, Matt Ryan threw for over 300 passing yards. He was out there throwing dimes. Our receivers did not play well, other than Michael Pittman Jr. balled out. Yeah. Outside of Pittman, our rookie Alec Pierce dropped a wide open touchdown in the end zone. And then who else? I'm drawing a blank. We had another receiver dropped another wide open, perfect pass, hit his chest, touchdown. Like Matt Ryan should have left that game with 3 passing touchdowns, 400 passing yards, and a W. But because of drop passes and a couple turnovers early in the first half, it led to what it led to. We should have lost the game. We're down 20-3, I believe, going into late to the game.
Yeah, when it came back, I thought they was gonna win it. Yeah, I thought they assumed.
Well, then Rodrigo Blankenship, who we released from the team, our kicker, missed a 42-yard chip shot. So I don't know. The fact that we even tied the game, I'm usually really mad about it, but the fact that we even tied it, I was actually kind of happy because we should have lost. Yeah, and let me say this: we're actually tied for the first spot in the AFC South. So I can't be too mad right now.
You're tied with the Texans, bro. You're tied with the Texans.
The Jags lost in Tennessee. They lost. Surprise! So I'm like, hey,
Tennessee lost. So that was one of my surprises of the weekend was Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley. He looked really good coming out of college, and then suffered a knee injury, and then he had a foot injury last year.
Something, yeah.
And then so I said came around in fantasy football. No, I'm not taking that guy, but he balled out. He was running the ball on Sunday. And then when the coach goes for it on fourth down, go for 2 on fourth down, go for the win. I love that. What did you think about the Broncos and them not giving Russell Wilson the ball in the fourth quarter? Was that a new coach or no confidence in your quarterback? What was that?
Here's my theory. I think they understood the nature of the game. He's playing against his old squad. It's loud. It's crazy. The environment's crazy in Seattle. I think as a head coach, he was trying to protect Russell Wilson. He didn't want to put the ball in his hands. They failed to get the first down. And now the media's like, oh, Russell Wilson, the headline New York Times, Russell Wilson couldn't get it done back in Seattle. So I think he was like, you know what? I'm going to put the game on our kicker, roll the dice. He's made a couple 60-yarders this week in practice, so he's capable of doing it. If he does miss, the game is on him, or they're going to blame me. They're not going to blame Russ. That's my theory.
What? So here, Russell, Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yep.
They say, no, Russell, we gotta protect you, Russell. Just come sit down next to us, Russell, and let's see if the kicker can win this game.
That's the only thing to me that makes sense, because the only other option is that we don't trust you.
And you go there. You try not to go there.
You just did all this. You got Russ, all this hype and all this. We got Russ. All we need. We got a quarterback. And then you get in his position and you don't trust him. So I'm trying not to go there. I'm trying to believe that that's not the case. So the only other theory that I can come up with is he was trying to protect Russ. So I don't know.
I had the Chiefs still winning the division this season. I have the Chargers still making the playoffs, coming up behind them. Mm-hmm. The Raiders and the Broncos I have fighting for each other for that fourth spot in that outlasting each other for that fourth spot in the AFC West. So I don't have them. I have them in the bottom anyway. I wasn't expecting much, but come on, you can't. If they're protecting Russell and that's what the coach is thinking, they're in trouble for the rest of the year.
Right.
They're in trouble for the rest of the year. And why does Russell have to be involved in the 2 most questionable calls in NFL history? Is involving Russell Wilson. Yeah, that seems kind of odd for the success and as good as quarterback he's had. That seems quite odd that early in your career you get pinned with one of the worst calls in NFL history, and then later the first week 1 of your new team, you get the same stuff happens. Come on, right. It's questionable. It's questionable. But I'm gonna leave you with this. Let me get your feel on those Dolphins. Mike McDaniels wins his debut with Miami.
I knew this was coming.
I still think Teddy's gonna be in there week 6. But what you think of Mike McDaniels' win in his week 1?
Strong win. It was impressive. I think Tua had a solid game, very efficient. You know what I'm saying? Didn't really make any mistakes. Tyreek Hill, I mean, I thought he had a good strong game. good win. It wasn't anything that I'm like, oh my gosh, the Dolphins are scary. But it was just like, that's a good win against the Patriots, who we know Mac Jones was struggling kind of in the preseason and things like that nature. And the Patriots are definitely not that same Patriots of old that we once feared. But it's still Bill Belichick over there on the other side. So anytime you can beat a Bill Belichick-led Patriots team, I think that's still a big-time win. And I don't know. Nothing surprised me. I have the Dolphins winning this game. Okay. But, I need to see more. I think the score was 20-7, so it's not like they went out there and just was scoring up and down the field. Really good on the defensive side.
They control the game. The defense controlled the game. They controlled it with the running game. I think Tua missed some opportunities, but he completed that 4th and 7 going into the half. I mean, that was a play where you say, okay, let's give my quarterback some confidence.
Right.
4th and 7, let him hit the 12-yard slant route, and then let Waddle do the rest of it and take it to the house. Now Tua has confidence.
Right.
Now next week we go into a 2-minute drive. Tua does have confidence because he completed the play. Before that play, he had a 7.7 yard passing average before that 42-yard play. So again, wasn't nothing spectacular, but he got the job done. I like Mike McDaniel's offense. What I'm looking forward to seeing is, can Mike McDaniels over the next 3 years, can he get the production out of Tua Tagovailoa that he got out of Jimmy G? If he gets that same production of a quarterback that everybody says there's some shackles on him. Everybody says that quarterback don't do too much with this guy because he's going to cough it up. If he can get that same production that he got out of Jimmy G, everybody's kind of looking at side eye. I'm gonna be ecstatic. I'm gonna be a big time fan. I might see you at the Super Bowl in January. I might see you there in January because those guys, if we get Jimmy went to 2 NFC championships and a Super Bowl, even though he didn't win it, I'll be ecstatic. I'll be ecstatic if that happens. But we'll see. We have to see if he's able to do that throughout the year and not just week one. Because they have a tough matchup against Lamar Jackson, who should not be playing football. I don't understand what this dude's doing. Do you have some insight on what Lamar's doing?
The contract situation and what he's trying to get.
Yeah,
I guess I don't have any. I don't have any true info from anybody. This is my opinion. I think he's just kind of betting on himself. Lamar's a guy who just loves football, and
I don't mind that.
I think he's just someone who he's just assuming the business and the money will come along. Which is risky, obviously. It's obviously risky, but I think he just really loves the game. You know what I'm saying? And he's just trying to go out here and play and let whatever happens. And I think he's betting on himself. Pretty strong showing this first game. You know what I'm saying? And mostly passes. I want to say that because I know Lamar doesn't get a lot of love from the pocket. Right. So I want to make sure we show him some love here. So I think he's betting on himself, and he's probably trusting that the Ravens organization will come along. It's just gonna take a little bit of time. So I'm confident. I like you betting on yourself. I like you being confident, and I generally don't mind that mindset. Mm-hmm. But Lamar, if you say I'm not playing on Sunday, they're gonna hit you with 250 right now, 250 mil. You think so?
Guaranteed. They have no choice. The Ravens built their team around Lamar Jackson. This isn't a situation like Tampa where they needed a quarter. They get rid of Jameis and they just needed a quarterback, and any quarterback could do. They need a quarterback who just doesn't throw 30 interceptions. They built their team around Lamar Jackson.
Right.
But that's different.
But I would say this. I mean, he's not on Lamar Jackson, but Tyler Huntley, when he's played, like he can manage the offense. You know what I'm saying? Like they can win some games with Huntley. He's fast, athletic, decent arm. So it's not like you go from Lamar to like your typical stand in a pocket quarterback. Like they have a guy who could make some things shake. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you though. Maybe sitting out would make the most sense. I just think he really wants to play.
I'm not,
you know what I mean?
I can't. I probably would want to play too. Come down to it. The game days on Sunday, and I'm twiddling my thumbs, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to the stadium. Fuck it, I'm gonna play. Right. But he's in a position. I mean, not many people are in this certain position. Not many people are where he can just change the whole landscape of it. Like they need him more than he needs them. And if he sat out, hey.
But let me ask you this. Okay, he plays this season. Mm-hmm. They still going to need him. Like nothing's going to change. They're still going to need him at the end of the season. And
they're going to end up franchising him. But what I'm saying is he plays throughout, and we come to next year. Yeah, they're going to want to pay him because he played this year. Now he doesn't have a contract, and I don't think he can come back and play without a contract. But they want to work it. They're going to want to work it out either way. Sure, true enough. But look at what the situation that happened with the Cowboys. The Cowboys waited a year too long to pay Dak, right? And ended up having him now. If you recall, Jerry Jones said, "Oh, my guy is not a $40 million contract, $40 million quarterback." Well, Jerry, you didn't pay him that summer, right? And now you waited a year to pay him. Now he's making $40 million.
Ding. So that's what I'm saying. So Lamar, he might get 265 now because the market's gonna keep going up. Yeah, so the longer the Ravens wait, the more money they're going to pay Lamar. So that's really on them. Lamar knows at the end of the day, they're going to have to pay this man at some point.
They're going to have to pay him. They're going to have to pay him.
Because if they don't, somebody else will.
And I don't know. I'm trying not to get too excited, but I know you saw the
Dolphins jersey.
I know you saw him in the Dolphins jersey. I know you saw that. I'm trying not to get it. I was trying to keep that on the chest.
That's a lot of speed. That's a lot of speed on that field. Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Lamar.
So you see them all deep on a fly route, and who's gonna?
Just go.
A little linebacker playing Lamar.
They're gonna be the Showtime Dolphins.
That would be bananas. That would be bananas. Hey, Darnell Smith, thank you for your time. Let the people know where they can find you, big dog.
Darnell_Smith 95. That's on Instagram, Twitter. You want to be more in the personal life? I'm not on Facebook that much, but I dibble and dabble. Just type in Darnell Smith, you'll find me. I'm on TikTok, Darnell.Smitty95. I'm everywhere, man. So this search Darnell Smith, you'll find me, man. And hey, it's gonna be an exciting end of this year, and got some big moves on the way. So stay tuned.
Hey, we got a lot of big stuff coming on, man. So thank you for your time, big dog. We're gonna see you in the spotlights, man. We're gonna see you in the bright lights. Don't forget about the little people. Don't forget about the little people. When I'm untying a yacht and saying, "Hey, you got an extra seat," make sure you tell the driver to slow down. Say, let's get this dude on board, man. Throw me a crab leg or two.
You're gonna always save a couple crab legs for you, man, and save one seat for you if you want to hop on. I know you a big time man yourself. You got a lot of moves you're making. You might not want to hop on the yacht with me. So we'll see what happens.
We'll talk about it soon, big dog. Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Anytime.